Hey guys, welcome back to Seller Sessions. Today, bring back friend of the show, Anthony Lee. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for asking.
Good. You've just hit fatherhood for, is it the second or third time?
This is my third child.
Congratulations. So
Thank you.
you're on paternity leave at the moment, is that right? As of this recording. Yeah.
That is correct. I am on paternity leave.
Cool. So today we're going to talk about TikTok. I know a lot of people kind of bringing this up and finding means and ways to using it. I actually didn't put the interview out, but I was when I was at the Cross Border Summit in China, I spoke to an American girl that is based in China who was selling clothes through TikTok, and she was hitting like 3 or 4 million on the video. Like, it's crazy stuff. So it's very interesting and quirky. There's obviously a certain age group. I even got TikTok on my phone, right? I don't really use it. I played around with it. And my daughter keeps running downstairs. What are you doing on TikTok? You're too old to be on there, right? And I'm like, well, Gary V's on there, and I'll just check it out. But yeah, anyway, so today's about your usage. Let's do this like case study. You've been on there 31, 32 days as of this recording.
That's right.
And it's had impact on Instagram and stuff like that. Just thinking how other Amazon sellers can utilize the platform as well. So tell me your story. What's been going on last 31 days or so of putting out content?
Okay. So it was actually about 33 days ago.
Okay.
I made a commitment to put out content every day, and it wasn't necessarily that I was looking to be like an early adopter of a new platform. It was literally I just started getting really into listening to Gary Vee stuff. I know I'm late to the game.
Hmm.
It's crazy, right? I've always known who he is, and I've actually seen him speak in person before. It's awesome, but never really like got into diving into that content until recently. And he kept, preaching that you got to be out on these platforms, LinkedIn, TikTok, put it out there. Finally, I said, you know what? I'm committed to doing this because I believe I have value I can share. So 33 days ago, I committed to putting out content, at least one piece of content every day.
Hmm.
Since then, I have put out a minimum of one video on TikTok, and then I cross post that to Instagram. And then I sometimes cross post it to LinkedIn, but I've actually learned some stuff, and we can get into that later as to why that might not be the most effective way to do it. But anyway, in that time, I have gained almost 7,500 followers. And what's really cool about them too is none of my videos have like just magically blown completely up. So it's not like just a bunch of people hitting the follow button. I get tons of engagement. I mean, people actually comment on the videos, asking questions, which is really cool. So it makes me think that a lot of those followers are legitimately interested in the content. And I've also doubled my Instagram following because of it. A lot of people and almost everybody that hits me up on Instagram is like, hey, I saw you on TikTok. So it's growing those two, follower bases. And 1 month putting out the content, literally after this call, I have another call with a potential client as a direct result of putting this stuff out. So that's really awesome.
Cool. So let's break it down. What stuff are you covering? What tools are you using to record? Are you using tools like with a teleprompter and stuff? You're doing it on the mobile and like a little light, etc. Because they're short videos. It's you face the video, right? So can you walk through your protocol, etc.?
So I actually have a really nice ring light, and for a little while, like the first few videos, that's what I was using. I had the really nice ring light set up in like this little nook in my house, and then a holder for my phone, and I was only using the back camera, and like I was just trying to make it as professional as possible. Problem is all of that setup kind of creates a barrier to doing the work, right?
Yeah.
Because you got to set it up, and so I stopped using the big ring light, and I got me this little like beauty light that clips to
Just
my
a little
phone.
clip. Yeah. That's good. Yeah.
And I started using that, and then I got a lavalier mic. And literally now, like I put this in my backpack. I could take it wherever. But anyway,
Yeah.
The production setup has reduced dramatically, so now it's super easy.
Yeah.
And then as far as like background and all that, I used to always try to find a space in the house, like in that little nook to do it. And now I just kind of walk around my room. I don't use a teleprompter. Sometimes I do have to do a couple of takes to kind of get in the groove, but the content I'm putting out is all about e-commerce, marketing, and a lot about Amazon. So because I feel so comfortable with that topic and it's something that I already love to talk about, I don't really have to read off a teleprompter. Like a lot of times I'll put my ideas down, I'll jot them down on a yellow notepad and then kind of like mark out like how many videos it's going to take to talk about.
Yeah.
And then I'll read the topic to myself and then I'll go walking around my room and record me talking about it. Yeah. And then that's it. So, and then the rest of it's just editing. I have an Android. So I have very limited, I've learned something. I don't like Apple products, but I think I'm going to buy an iPhone 11 because they have way better video editing tools.
Good boy. Good boy. It makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, you don't want to get that mess around that Android stuff. Apple's definitely the way forward. I'm a fanboy. I'll get a load of abuse for that now. So talk to me about like some of these edits you do, because I've watched some of your videos and like your eyes are kind of, it looks like you're wearing contact lenses, but you're using like a filter there, aren't you? And then I was thinking he's speaking really fast, but it's because you try to get the content in under a 59-second time frame. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. So I use an app called InShot first to cut out all of the stuff, right? Because usually these little kind of diatribes I go on last about 2 minutes. And so I have to cut out some of it. So I use InShot to cut it out and then save it at 720p because TikTok doesn't take 1080p.
Right.
Anyway, and then when that's done, I upload it to the app. And then from there, I always use a bright filter just because no matter how good the lighting is, that always just makes it easier to see. And then I apply this effect that does the eyes, the blue eye lenses. I don't do that because I want to make my eyes look prettier. That effect happens to also smooth out a lot of the inconsistent colors in my face and the background in general.
Yeah.
So, and then I just apply those to every video for consistency. So every single video kind of looks the same. And then I increase the speed to 1.3 to 1.4 times just so I can cram all the information in, get it down to under a minute. And that's how I do literally every video. Cool. Unless I'm doing like a stop motion something, which I do sometimes.
So now we've got the understanding of how you developed it. Like lavalier mic, like $12.99 on Amazon. These little spotlights, I've got one here in my studio set up. They're like cheap, $12.99 on Amazon, and it's got like a holder for mobile device, but I've got this at my workstation set up. So you can set these up, like you said, dirt cheap, carry it around with you in a rucksack and everything else. But how do you get the audience? So you've recorded a video, you've got your idea for content. I mean, there's teleprompter apps, guys. If you go on to do a search for teleprompter on iPhone, Android, etc., there's free ones there. A real teleprompter for your desktop is about £350 upwards. So if you can get one that goes for your mobile phone and clip on one of these ring lights for $12.99, you've got to set up for less than 20 quid just to get going. So how are you acquiring the audience? You're recording the videos. How are you seeding the videos to actually get views and get followers?
100% organic. That was the benefit to TikTok,
right,
over the other channels, because the other channels are super established, so it's like you kind of have to seed them.
Yeah.
But TikTok has so many new users all the time, and they're constantly hungry for new content that I didn't have to seed any. Literally, I just started putting videos out. I think probably by like my second video got like 300 views, which isn't a lot, but I mean, that was 300 people I didn't know. And then third video got around the same. Probably by the fifth video, they started getting upwards of 1,000. And then I think somewhere around my 50th video got like 150,000. And now I'm consistently getting a couple thousand views on every video.
And part of this is down to there's no throttle, is there? You know, like with organic reach on Instagram and Facebook, etc. Because it's early doors and they're trying to get adoption, you've got a larger reach because there's a smaller amount of people on the platform as well. So,
yeah, you know, I apparently there's not a smaller amount. I think Instagram. I saw so I follow a bunch of people who actually talk about TikTok stats a lot because that's a trending topic on the platform. And this one lady was showing kind of like diagrams. So there's a billion active users on Instagram, and TikTok just hit 800 million. So it's like
it's not far out. Yeah.
But be that as it may, I think a lot of them aren't actually creating content. So to some degree, you're right, because I have noticed, even though this platform is ginormous, I actually see some overlap. Some videos I'll see twice in like a month span, which is crazy. Yeah. So I think a lot of them aren't actually creating content. So yeah, there's a bunch of people on the platform and they're hungry for new content, but we're still running into the same insecurities that keep people from posting YouTube videos, for example. They're just afraid to get in front of the camera. So they're there consuming a lot, but not necessarily contributing a lot.
Yeah. So from a consultancy point of view, which is pretty much what you're doing in face to camera rather than product, you mentioned earlier on in the show, discuss some idea that other sellers can use, but more related to product like unboxing, etc.
Okay, so what you said unboxing. So is that like
as an example, like, you know, like for instance, you're using it yourself and then you probably get consultancy work from it. Where could an Amazon seller use it to promote one of their products?
All right, that's actually a fantastic question, and I was hoping that we would actually broach that topic. So how an Amazon seller can use this, it's this phenomenal new concept that literally is a light switch that just came on in my head recently as I started following a guy named George Bryant, who kind of teaches a lot of these principles. Yeah. But essentially the idea is, I guess it's a different way to do business. There's a lot of different ways you can do business, but the way he teaches it is you try to solve your customers' problems before worrying about getting their credit card. So literally, like, your whole goal is to get them to their end result with or without your product. Yeah. So if that's your goal, then logically what that means is you have a lot of content to share because you're trying to be helpful, right? If you have if you take that approach and you have a lot of content to share, then making videos for any platform, not just TikTok, becomes super easy. Like, because essentially now your goal isn't, I need to get the sale, you know, how do I showcase my product? Like that's why I asked you specifically about the unboxing videos. Like, yeah, that's a good idea to showcase your product.
That's just one side. That's one dynamic. Yeah.
But if that's not what your end goal is, then you don't need to really do an unboxing. What you need to do is talk to people about how to solve a problem. And so this is the other reason why it makes sense, that whole concept of do something that you love or you have a passion for or you have interest in, because then it's easier to talk about. But essentially, if you have a topic that you're interested in, that you're, if not an expert in, you're becoming an expert. I mean, you don't really have to be an expert. You just got to read more about it than anybody else does. And then you share solutions to common problems of people who are interested in that topic as well. Then you go out there and you talk about it. And what happens is people who are interested in what you're talking about gravitate to that content. So to put this in a real world kind of perspective, you're an Amazon seller. Let's say you sell a kitchen product. Why are you selling a kitchen product? It might be because you want to make money and you think that there's money there. But ideally, in a perfect world, you're in the kitchen niche because you have an interest in cooking, in healthy living or delicious living, maybe not even healthy, but whatever it is. So you lean into that. You go take that content, you know, if you're cooking stuff, make videos of you cooking stuff. If you read about cool recipes, make videos where you say, hey, I found this really cool recipe over here. Check it out. I think this is going to taste great. I think I'm going to make it. You know, if you're just a foodie, You make videos about you tasting food. The point is you talk about what comes naturally to you that's interesting. You share that and people will gravitate to it. As a happy byproduct of you solving issues without selling, people will be interested in what you have to offer and they will gladly give you money for it. That's just a magical concept, and only recently did it become clear, but that seems to be the way it works.
Yeah, that sounds good. And it'd be interesting to go back to and dig in a little bit more on Insta, where you doubled your followers on Instagram as well. Do you want to tell me a little bit about that? Because the cross-platform posting.
So, like I said, a lot of people are on TikTok, but they're not actually creating content; they're just consuming it. The thing is TikTok makes it kind of difficult to private communicate. Like you have to give the app your phone number.
Yeah.
It doesn't automatically take it. You have to give it. And it allows you to create as many accounts as you want, but you can only assign a phone number to one of them. And then it's kind of a confusing process. I accidentally created an extra account one time by accident, gave it my phone number. Now I can't put my phone number into the account that I actually use. And as a result, I can't private message anybody. So I'm sure there's a ton of people who have run into similar situations. Anyway, so because of this snafu, a lot of people move over to Instagram for the private messaging capabilities. So I'll get messages all the time. Hey, I saw you on TikTok. And then they start asking me questions there because the platform is more private message friendly. I think a lot of the crossover happens there. And I think that's the reason why it's important not to just put your content out on one platform.
Yeah.
For starters, because, okay, so 10 years ago, I read this book called The Social Media Bible. And in it, it said, go wherever your audience is congregating. And that made sense at the time. But now I don't think it makes sense because now we're fully in the digital age. And now your audience is everywhere.
Yeah.
Like everywhere. They're on all the platforms. Some of them are here, some of them are there. So that's one main reason. But the other two is if you put your content on multiple platforms, it makes it easier for people who are more comfortable communicating in a certain style to use the platform conducive for that.
Yeah. Makes sense. And you mentioned earlier on about LinkedIn. There's a reason why you said you had some ideas in and around that you wasn't necessarily fully cross-posting to there for some reason?
So I discovered that while leaning into only one platform might not be the best strategy, some people have said, some experts have said that you should tailor the content for the actual, the way people on that platform like to consume it. And I think that might be true because I've just been taking my TikTok videos, with the branded TikTok logos and everything, and putting them on LinkedIn. Those videos get at most 12 views. But then when I go and write out a text post about something, it gets 500 views. So that tells me that there's truth to the idea that you got to take your content and tailor it for the particular platform. So I've stopped just reposting TikTok videos, and now I need to start creating LinkedIn specific content.
More longer form, not long form, but longer form.
Well, one of the things I think is the main issue is a lot of people on LinkedIn are at work. So video with only audio doesn't work. So I need to start making videos that have subtitles. Problem is Android doesn't have an app that does that well. Another reason why I want to get an iPhone.
Get yourself an iPhone, son. Yeah.
So anyway, but yes. And then people do like to read more. So yeah, I got to switch up my strategy there a little bit.
Cool. Well, look, let's wrap that there. What's the best way that people can reach you?
As usual, I am, of course, on Facebook, and you can hit me up in the Messenger. However, also Instagram and TikTok. My @ is Anthony Lee 991, and that's actually consistent across the board. So Facebook /Anthony Lee 991, Instagram @Anthony Lee 991, TikTok the same thing. So yeah, really anywhere. I'm everywhere. I try to be anywhere that you are. Just reach out.
Cool. Sounds good. And maybe hopefully we'll have a catch up in a few months to see how the growth's going on both of those platforms.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guys, thank you for joining us. Anthony, thank you for joining us. If this is your first time, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you again in the next few days. Take care.